Hey guys, today we're going to talk about documenting to create content. All right, before we get started, just as a quick reminder, you can go to our site epicdesignlabs.com/covid, and there we're posting lots of ideas that you guys can do on your business every day in generally 15 to 30 minutes to grow your business or make your business that much stronger, so that as we come out of this time of uncertainty, that you are going to be that much better prepared to rebound. All right. Today, what are we talking about? Today we're talking about marketing. And one thing that Gary Vaynerchuk talks about specifically is that documenting is, I forget exactly what he says, but it's like documenting is the best way to create content or something like that. It's certainly probably the easiest way. And what do I mean when I say documenting? I mean showing people you doing what you do. You're already doing it. What if you recorded it? What if you shared it? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, and maybe this will help give you guys some ideas. So, as you hopefully know by now, I build e-commerce websites for people, help people market, and generally do all kinds of e-commerce type stuff. And I have my own e-commerce store, and I've had an idea burrowing in my brain for the longest time, and I don't know if it's going to be, you know, the biggest site in the world. I really think it's probably not, but I think it's going to be a really fun project for me. Um, and you can't always just do things for the home run. Sometimes you got to do something for a base hit just because it'll be fun. And that's what this project is. And I'll describe it for you. I'm going to create an e-commerce site where I sell enamel pins. I don't know how to make enamel pins, but I'm going to learn during this process. I don't know how to do this type of artwork, but I'm going to learn during the process. But I'm going to create enamel pins, everything to do with animals, right? So dogs, cats, sloths, whatever, you know. Sorry about the phone. Um, all kinds of animals exist. I'm going to start selling all kinds of pins about all kinds of animals. Some will be cute, some will be funny, some will be, whatever. But I want to start this site, and it's going to be called Enamel Animals. And I've wanted to do this forever because I can't say the name without smiling, and it just sounds like the coolest thing to do just because. And if it turns into something, that's great. But I think, a lot of times, you guys might have ideas like this, something that sounds like it might be fun, and you don't really know, if it's going to, succeed or fail on its own merit. And a lot of times, what I see people do when they launch e-commerce stores is they do all the work to build it, and then they don't do anything to market it. Not before they launch and not after they launch, and it's really sad. And I spend a lot of my time telling people that, hey, if you want to give me money to build this thing, that's great, but you got to market it. You gotta get some eyeballs, man, because there's no point in building this if they don't come, right? It's not if you build it they will come. It's if we build it, you better make them come. you know, you got to go out there and market, man. Like, I don't know what else to say. Um, so Gary Vaynerchuk talks about documenting being the best type of marketing or content creation, and what he's talking about is he has a camera crew that follows him around and films him talking to people, doing his work. His work really is just talking to people. Um, but he's documenting the whole thing, and then that documentation turns into content that honestly people are fascinated to see, because we all want to see what Gary Vee does, and people like that. We want to see how he reacts to things and what he says and what's important to him and what's not important to him. And this talk today isn't really about him. It's about that concept of sharing himself with people and how that is really the most authentic that you can possibly be, is just being you on camera, in a blog post, in whatever, Instagram images, whatever it is. Like, just being authentic is going to make people like you more, and it's going to make them, follow along with your journey. And so what I'm going to do on my journey for enamelanimals.com, coming soon, is I'm going to document it. I'm going to Actually, I'm going to try doing Twitch. I don't know if Twitch is a great place for it, but I've never tried Twitch and I've never tried Enamel Animals. So, what better time to try something like Twitch than on a project where, hey, it's not going to hurt if nobody watches my stream. But even if nobody watches my stream, it'll still give me recordings, that I can use wherever. And it's still going to teach me in doing the process, doing these videos with you guys, just documenting this every day, my thoughts and on how you can grow your store. This is documenting, right? This is not edited. If you've watched some of my videos in this series, you could see I cough and you might hear my baby crying at some point. You may even see, I don't know if you can see this, but there's like a toy car behind me on the ground. It's my boy's big red car. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to document really from very early on. All I have is a concept. And, I have thought about the concept a good bit. So I guess I'm not truly starting at day zero, but I'm starting pretty close to day zero. I do not have a product yet. I don't know how to make a product. I am going to start out selling other people's products just to get me started because, one thing I want to convey to people is it's more important to start than to wait and try and get everything perfect. Done is better than perfect. And so I want to launch my store even if I don't have my own products, right? There's obviously animal pins in the world. Why do they have to be mine, right? So I'm going to document going out there and finding some products, going to document researching other people's sites, going to document wireframing my own site, going to document, actually, designing my own site, going to document building my own site. I'm going to do the whole thing, I think from soup to nuts on a live Twitch stream. Not just one live Twitch stream. It'll probably be like, a couple hours a week or something until it's launched. And probably, I don't know how long it'll go after it launches, but I want to show people really like what it looks like when a guy who knows what he's doing does it. I think some people would be interested in that. At least my nerdy crowd would. Maybe you're my crowd, maybe you're not, but I think a lot of people would. One of the top questions I hear is how do you find products? And I'm going to show them like I have a product idea that I cannot do myself and that I want to do myself, and in the meantime this is what I'm going to do. I don't know if it'll help people, but I'm certainly going to document it. It'll be lots of content. And the thing is, if somebody watches it, they're going to be my exact audience because nobody would watch that unless they were really interested in e-commerce, right? So question today, and this really isn't a 15 to half hour task, but I think thinking this through is a 15 to half an hour task, 15 to 30 minute task. How can you document your process? How can you show people you doing what you do while you do it and turn that into content? And this shouldn't be all of your content, but this could be a big piece of it. One of my clients has a Twitch stream, and he creates his own merch. And on his Twitch stream, every now and then, he actually like films himself like designing his own merch. And I've probably watched 4 or 5 hours of him drawing stuff in Adobe Illustrator. And I mean, if you're interested in the topic, it's going to be way more interesting than it sounds, So think about how you can document your process, whatever it is that you do. How can you document it and show it to people? If you make something, if you sell something, if you deliver something, I can't tell through the camera what it is you do. I'm trying to think about it, but I can't see you, man, or lady. But think about what you do. Think about how you can document it. Ask some of your friends, like, what kind of questions do you have about my job? And the kind of questions that they have may lead you to see through their eyes the interesting parts of what you do. And then those are potentially things that you could document that people would be really interested in. All right, that's it for today. So I want you guys to think about how you can document your process and turn what you're already doing into content for Instagram, YouTube, blog, podcasts. Well, maybe not podcasts. I mean, podcasts, definitely do a podcast, but I don't know if you could turn documentation of what you do into a podcast. Maybe. You could turn anything into a podcast these days. All right, you guys, that's it for today. Think about documentation. Think about how you can put your own actions that you're already doing into content and share that with the world to make them see the authentic you doing what you do. And come back tomorrow and we'll have even more ideas then. Thanks.